All right. That's my bit. That's how we'll start. That's how we'll end because
We're
you
going.
always are walking down the road. I think. Maybe. We're going to find out more on that. Oh,
Like in an
jeez.
old episode of the Hulk.
Always. Yeah. Who the hell wants to remind me what actually happened last time? Let's get us kind of thinking about that.
We went through
Not
some character creation.
We raged against the machine.
We fought against. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, we apparently killed the avatar of our ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
The Five Nights at Freddy's ride is broke down.
Five folks on the ride, and the sixth one.
Five folks in Fantasyland.
There we go. We're already workshopping the name, right?
Yeah. No.
Additionally,
The legally distinct name.
Legally distinct name from Five Nights at but basically you are in kind of a moving house, a legally distinct house, moving castle that you are still kind of talking about what it looks like, but kind of mid-century modern, 17th century is Victorian-ish.
Yeah.
No modern facilities, basics, doors built into bookcases, kind of a parlor that you all kind of woke up without memory of in like a sitting room on a balcony to the front and the back, in this central space. And looking out the balcony, you saw a golden emerald road bisecting a desert and old growth forest. Together, you kind of explored the space, starting to try to remember if that is even possible, but you don't. You don't. You did find some basic spaces, an armory, training, some extra basic equipment, this middle living space, a lower storage space, basic goods to keep you well enough kept. And just from like a session zero standpoint, we talked a little bit about, unless it's really vital to a thing and it's a MacGuffin for the moment, you don't have to worry about food, tracking resources, arrows. You have something in your equipment that's a great little catch-all for you. That's basic supplies. Unless I have literally said I have taken your basic supplies, I'm assuming you're prepared. I also want to go through just a couple of things that's always great to do instead of a beginning of an RPG, especially with someone new. Lines and veils. I don't know if we've talked about lines and veils before. It's something that's brought up in the book a little bit, but it's worth noting. Is there anything we're hardlining out of this campaign? Like something that we just don't want to deal with for PTSD reasons or anything like that? We don't think we have that in this group, but I want to just open that door.
Boulder traps. No, thank you.
No more boulder traps.
If
boulder traps.
If we fight wolves,
packs of wolves,
we might lose.
Packs of wolves might be. Yes, no, Jeff, I will tell you, Deacon didn't just give us one boulder trap. He gave it to us not twice, but I believe thrice.
No. We were in a Pulp Fiction Indiana Jones adventure. Every single dungeon had one. You didn't find all of them.
It's all I want in a dungeon.
You're not helping with the PTSD part to say that there were more.
There were always more. You definitely missed some. You didn't even. The Wizard's Tower had a boulder trap. You just had to teleport into its area. You didn't go to the.
Oh.
Yeah.
The real adventure was the boulder traps you found along the way.
Exactly. He played with moons. There's a big floating moon inside that space that was just orbiting. You never found.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Current campaign.
But this game is different. Is there anything that so we're not hardlining anything else? We can change this at any point. And if there's anything you don't want to mention, but know it's in the world, we're more than welcome to bring into that. And feel free to X card anything if you think something's weird or ooky. I know we've done some body horror stuff in this. I had no problem. I think we all are in that space and we like that space. So I will surprise you guys and sometimes spook you guys, sometimes ook you guys, sometimes laugh. But if you ever are uncomfortable, just saying it out loud, you're more than welcome to. So without that anything, I'm gonna kind of start broad scoping a little bit of what we did last time and getting into some of the fiat that I've built into this space. Um, Let me set the stage a little bit for this world of the road. The template, I've actually been building kind of this space for about a year. The MacGuffin that you guys have found is something that I've been thinking about for, dang it. I've been thinking about for a little bit. All these little things. But this is what we're actually discovering today. You might be coming to this game with a backstory and experiences, but we're just talking about what we just did is the first moment of your real memory. You waking up in that space, you encountering this bisected knight that you killed and turned into a stained glass statue and is now talking out of that orb, and the strider that you're upon. That was the first moment of your true backstory. Not saying that you don't have flashes, you don't have recovered memories, you don't have things that came before. I do not know, and I do not think they're going to be important. There may be moments where if you think there's something from your past story that is vital, tag it to me. Talk to me after this. There's a world where they come in without any issue because you can still run into people that you used to know, but they're just somebody that you used to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
no
not my cue to start playing.
Yeah, I was expecting a song. Yeah, so anyway.
I mean, the bard for sure messed up.
Yeah, I took the drink and everything.
Fucking, yeah.
We're playing with a little bit of nature versus nurture, but at the same point, like, when we talk about stuff and we start doing some character setting together as a party, please feel free to say, this is a recovered memory. This is something I've talked about or not talked about with the other people. Like, I think, like, when we're talking about our communities, because I do want you guys to have the community cards, and that's the biggest thing that kind of is a step back from this idea. I think that's the biggest memory you have that's like a recovered memory, your community. There is a nature versus nurture, and that is a little bit of nature. You grew up in a community of your ancestry or multiple ancestries, and that did give you some of your basic knowledge, basic skills that maybe are who you are, and you have this memory of a parent, you have this memory of a mentor, you have this memory of a thing. And you may have a couple of them, and they might help inform who you are, but when we start answering questions about who you are, let's assume that who you are also started 5 minutes ago, and we're gonna fast forward a little bit. We're gonna I don't know how far since this moment that we just played out together we're going, but the road continues on, and you're on the road. Thunk, thunk whir, thunk. The strider continues as always down the road. The multicolored sun sets. After a full day of not knowing who you are and killing the sixth member of this place, their corpse remains atop the strider as a stained glass statue in front of that chromatic stained glass sphere. It's of obvious magical power that now speaks with that person's voice. Upon their death, a chromatic emblem matching that of the sphere and the chest of the knight burned with cold fire upon you. It's a ring, it's a necklace, it's a tattoo. What's yours? And we're gonna be an idiot tonight. We're gonna play Hopcorn. Hops, drinks, drink, and tell. Popcorn, Jeff. What is yours?
I just heard drink, and I drank.
I'm gonna say that is on the that appeared, much to my surprise, on the hilt of both of my daggers.
Okay. Throw it to someone else.
Let's see, Trevor, what you got?
The symbol shown on the left fastening pin of my pauldron on my plate armor. Popcorn, Brendan.
I've got a necklace, and it shows up on this gem in the very center of the pendant necklace that I'm wearing. Popcorn, pop, flip, hop, skippity doo, Ezzy.
That's weird because ours are basically the same. It's a strange pendant that I found in the dirt.
Perfect.
Dirt pendants.
Dirt pendant.
Dear Tay.
And that's this recovered memory of you remembering finding it in the dirt.
Yep. Kyle, your turn.
Oh, thank you for choosing me.
Last in dodgeball.
Because I knew you had
Oh, popcorn.
to.
It flipped right to you, man.
I would say it is the center insignia on the shield that I carry.
Shit.
Dang. I was hoping somebody would go for a big face tattoo.
I know. I was waiting for it.
You set the precedent. You made it all meaningful by putting it on your daggers and stuff. So. But if anyone's going to make it a face tattoo, it would have been Essie.
Yes.
It's
right.
all neck down. Sorry.
Just continuing on in that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Thunk whir. The multicolored sun rises. A shiver of arcane energy spins down your spine. You hear the sharp clattering of cobbles as the road resets upon dawn. Stones out of place find their eternal home, repairing themselves. The road gleam bright. Though it is clear that the road repairs itself, cleans itself of its mess, of the detritus of the day. It's a bit better where the strider has walked. Everything behind you is a bit cleaner, a bit brighter, a bit shinier, and more at home than the road not yet traveled. In the next weeks, months, years, you continue on together. The spirit of the person you slayed inhabits the strider you all are in as it continues to walk down this road. Your basic needs are well enough kept by this space, by Bix, as this entity begins calling themselves. You begin doing your heroic works at this time. It's clear that there are a lot of people that might not have things, and you do. This is a place that everyone you meet has suffered from what becomes known as the aphasia. This is a worldwide memory event. Bakers know how to bake. Fishers know how to fish. But their names, the moment before they woke up on this day, months, weeks, years ago, it's gone. Everyone resets and restarts. You still need to plow the fields. You still need food. Governing needs to be governed. Maybe there's a new governor. Maybe there's something new that has to figure it out because of the circumstance of the moment. There's some things that you learn and relearn about your world as you continue on. If anyone is inside of Roll20, it's something that I am sharing there. It's a big old thing called Concepts. I'm not assuming that you're going to read it because I will read it for everyone. But these are things that you can always research back onto after walking the road for as long as you have now. These are things that happen. These are truths about this world. This world of aphasia, as I'm currently calling it. Mm-hmm. We don't know the name of this world. Maybe a lot of people have named this world. Maybe you've named the world. I don't know that yet. But in a conceptual space, before pen touches paper, This is aphasia. The road is always bisecting two different and sometimes dangerous biomes. You do pass by quite a few of these. Some are mundane, some are supernatural. Do you want to note any that you might have seen as you've been walking down this space?
Yeah. Big kind of volcano biome, and there's a big old manor at the top of it, right next to where the volcano's exploded.
There's definitely like a swampland at some point, like marsh area that drew my character's attention at one point.
I was very excited the first time I saw snow and some snowy mountains in the distance because, from what I can remember, I had never seen snow before and didn't know what it was.
And then there were those badlands of gray stone and constant fog. The horizon wasn't even visible through the gray.
I recall a biome that was lush and green, and it had foothills and beauty to it, a nature's touch of beauty, a natural wonder.
And
I was going to say that didn't seem exactly familiar to me, like I had seen it before, and yet something about it reminded me of home.
And what's great about all of these things, and the thing that you start learning, is maybe that volcanic location with the manor was to your left as you walked down the road, but that lush Eden was to the right. As you sit on the one side of the strider, it's a nice temperate space. Is this literally? I'll just throw things, guys. Jeez, my MacGuffin's in the way. It's always in the way. This strider kind of astrides the entire road. You see people cross and pass by your spaces. But they almost always can fit underneath you in their caravans and whatnot. Well, that's gone. Whatever that was. Anyway. So, but that you see these moments where like that acrid sulfur air across that obsidian center line, you'd feel on that side. And there is just that clear magical barrier between those two spaces. And it keeps going. Heavenly bodies. The sun is as multicolored as the MacGuffin that you have. It's very clearly an emblem of that, or something along those lines, or something in that space. It doesn't always rise on the same horizon. There are stationary moons, or holes, or orbs, or discs of clear matching color that hover over each domain and very much share its color story. So there's an acrid red moon above the volcanics. You assume that there might be. Actually, you can always see this. Not even assume. Inside even the Badlands, the only thing you see through that fog and smog is this like negative eclipse-like umbra that is there. They do not crescent. They do not wax or wane. They are just there. They are above. Every first light, the road is cleared of all things that do not travel it and is repaired. Something about the strider, or the sphere, powers and regenerates the road. The clearing and repairing behind you is better and faster than the road you have yet to travel. Walking the road is the strider's purpose. Bix has noted to you that he can stop it and has stopped it for you. but it is built to sustain 6 or so people, and it can't stop for long. You've pushed it for a day or two, but he notes that it needs to keep moving, and he does not know why it's a compulsion. Cities and towns. There are towns, villages, hamlets that are found alongside the road. The road itself seems to give them something. Maybe it helps power their water wheel. Instead of a water wheel, it's a magical wheel. Maybe it is a finding stone to get the gold out of the ground. There are many different things that magic powers. And this seems to be, the road itself not only is a place to get people to places, but it's a conduit for these magics. Every few weeks, or sometimes longer or shorter, the road bisects another road. And a large city is frequently there. Cities and these crossroads are surrounded by 4 biomes, not 2, as you cross into a new space. The Strider rests at the spot of the center of the crossroad for a full day before traveling in a new path that you dictate to Bix. It does not go backward. And the dictation that you give to Bix is based off need. There is a very clear note to him that spaces may be safer or not safer, but more urgent or not more urgent. You have pretty much taken the safe path at this point and kept safe. But who knows when that's going to change. In this time so far, and does not mean that you decide how long this has been. I am not deciding how long this has been that you've seen these things. But in the time that you have been together, in this, you have a little bit more than most people. You have never decided to leave the road or strayed far from the Strider, but feel like you could. You have never yet seen the same places. The volcanic realm is in the past. The swamp marshland is in the past. The snow is in the past. It doesn't mean that you won't see them again, but you have not seen them yet. You have not yet seen another device or home like yours. But you have seen similar symbology at the town centers where it repowers. You have not yet met anyone who truly remembers anything before the same day, save for flashes of recovered memory. Let's talk about this a little bit. How long has this been? Tell me more about things. Tell me some stories about the first things. Tell me whatever you want about this conceit. What are some of the most important things that you want to talk about that happened during this time?
Well, I would
by
like
this
to.
is Bat Country.
Oh, 3 people started talking at once after the longest silence.
I don't know if that's the longest one we've had.
Well, it was an awkward
we all
silence
there's a pretty long one last time.
We all have similar tolerance for
for
awkward
the
silence.
silence.
Yeah.
The sound
Jeff, I knew you'd fit in.
of silence. So I'll not go. Knowing
Well,
that
if Brendan's not going, I'm not going.
Fine, I'll do it all.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like at some point there was some sort of critter or groups of critters that were stuck on the road, and we had to try to talk Bix down into not running it over.
Like turtles?
I mean, maybe turtles. I mean, I was thinking more like ducklings, or like, but like, what are they called? Chinchillas? Like chinchilla ducklings?
tiny,
Sure, yeah.
adorable
Oh, yeah, those.
chinchillas.
Yeah.
And like a goose weasel is the mom somehow,
Different species, like adopted.
No, I mean like some sort of
Okay.
mutant combo creature.
Yeah. Like
I just watched the Avatar on the Netflix. They have like
Airbender rules. I had a feeling.
we're like turtle ducks and whatever
Air
bears,
bison.
air bison,
There's some.
lemur bats, whatever. Yeah. Some cute woodland critters, and we didn't run them over. Well, we could have, but we didn't.
I think maybe you just don't know remember what animals are called.
Yeah.
Animals.
The little critters over there.
I was going to say something important is introductions. Do you want to do those now, Deacon? Or
Nope.
Okay.
We'll get there. We don't know anything about you guys yet. You don't know enough about yourself to choose your own name.
I have a name. I have
No,
a name.
you don't know why you've chosen that name yet. I'm going to ask you that too.
Okay. That's what I was going to
We'll
say,
get there.
but I'll wait.
Goodness.
There's
His name was
rules to
Robert
this.
Paulson.
We'll get there. Don't worry about
There's
it.
rules.
Names are important. Names are
ahead.
important. Let names are magical. Let's give the names later.
Jeff.
Is that the name?
Nope.
Jeff.
If me
Oh,
calling on
if you guys were to do
Joe.
that, I would break if you guys just like colluded behind my back and chose each other's names as your characters' names.
Brendan.
Especially if one of you just decided to keep your normal name.
The ultimate DM.
No, we'd start
prank.
over. No.
We're all
Just
going to
done.
name Deacon, just spelled differently.
Yeah.
No, it's spelled my way,
Yeah.
and everyone's gonna call me a different name. You don't know how the rules work.
Damien. Anyway.
Let's talk about a basic idea. How long do you think you guys have been in this space? How long
Oh my
ago
God.
was the day of aphasia? Was it 2 days ago? Was it months?
Feels like forever.
I like the idea of not knowing.
Like years, though. Like at least some years.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
80 years.
It's been a while. Years feels right because honestly, the sun doesn't work right for your
It's been a while.
normal conceits. Years may not matter. This
Who
world
knows
might not
how
have
long
years.
a year is in this place, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, what's the calendar? Is this Gregorian?
Gregorian for sure.
Ephesian?
Don't any of these
They-
cities have a calendar?
I don't know. Do they?
Apparently not that we've seen.
Okay. Calendar's bad.
We're
Apparently
suspicious of
that might be a
calendars now.
not to look for one.
No calendars.
No, that's what I'm
True.
saying. Any society that has one, we gotta take those suckers out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean
Voodoo.
that would just be confusing here in 51st Dates land. You just wake up and wonder who wrote on your calendar.
Well, it also goes into something too. If there is Eden land and there is Volcano land, is there seasons?
Right. What counts as a day?
Especially if the sun kind of comes up over there sometimes, or it's over there sometimes.
True.
Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't. But it's been a while. We're going to say it's been a length of time that is at least a year of Gregorian, Julian calendars.
Does anyone find the quirks of our environment strange, or does this seem normal to us?
Seems strange to me. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like this is not what we're meant to be. This isn't what I'm used to.
It's unnatural,
Yeah.
but not knowing what natural is just doesn't feel right.
And I'm not saying that in character. I'm just saying like that's
I feel that's how my character would feel.
yeah, right. I'm explaining the thoughts of my character.
Yeah.
Not in character yet.
Do we have any
Not allowed to.
inkling, and do we have any inkling or curiosity about the fact that since we started remembering things, we seem to be able to remember things, whereas everybody else seems to just go about their business but has no real specific memories? Are we perhaps
Everyone's
sheltered?
in the same space. I would say that everyone's in the same space. You all started remembering at the same day and can continue back memory to that moment.
Okay.
Everyone is born again, I guess, at that same moment.
Is that true of the people we encounter? Or
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There seems to be if not worldwide, regional-wide moment that has affected everyone in a very similar way.
Is Bix giving us any information, or
Bix seems
has he
to
just
have
gone
lost his memory just as
silent?
much as you have.
Okay. Okay.
Bix seems to have been is very much a ghost in the shell. The biggest thing that Bix has on top of you is in his moment of clarity, his moment of death, the conceit that keeping this sphere safe, keeping this Strider safe is important.
Great. Now we've got that responsibility.
And
And that's honestly why you're still together, maybe.
Yeah.
Do we all feel the same way? I guess.
I don't know, do you? Are you still here as a hero, I guess? Or do you want to make another hero? Do you want to say that the first verse? Yeah.
I was going to say, with lack of anything better to do so far, like that's the only current mission we've gotten. Sure, we might get restless at some point or wonder if there's more to life than this, but I guess that's what we've been up to.
Seems right.
All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to start leaning a little bit more. And please, if you have more ideas about this world, this is an open book. This is an open forum.
I do, in fact. How many legs does the Strider have?
How many do you think it does?
I want like 6 legs.
Great.
7, 6, 4.
I feel like an even number of legs, so like 4, 6, 4 maybe.
4 seems a little wobbly. More than 6 seems a little crowded.
Yeah, so 6 legs.
Yep.
Great. And that's what's just to go into some of the stuff that's inside the book, because I actually have read more of the book. I'm not done. But a lot of the things that it suggests to do is give, instead of doing the block of text that is just this is the space, what else do you notice about this space? This is collaborative storytelling. It's very much talking about making an RPG a collaborative storytelling, and I'm trying to be as true to that as I can. Also, quick step back about rules. For us that have played a lot more 5th edition, there is something that we need to talk about. There is no attacks of opportunity. You can move a close or very close amount, which is basically about a pencil on a board. If it feels like you're going further than that, you can move on your move. You can do that much of a shift and still do your attack or do whatever thing you're doing. So reposition yourself and get your dice roll in, which could trigger a fear result, which is when I come in. If you go further than that, that becomes your entire action. If you need to like sprint across the field or something like that, that becomes a different action roll. That's an agility check. So if you need to go a further distance, so if you need to go in that like far range, which is kind of like about the length of the side of a paper, the 60 feet equivalent, if you were equivalent taking the action and then to do your move as well, then you have to do a check as well, which may give you... Yeah?
If I needed or wanted to go further, but someone were to throw me, would that be their action then, and I still can take action?
We talk about that. Actually, we would be able to... That would probably be more of... There is the group action rolls, and there's tag team rolls. So depending on what you're doing, that might be a tag team thing, where you guys both might... If it's like throwing a rogue, and I'm throwing it with all my strength, so I hurt the rogue maybe a little bit, but I'm hurting the thing too. Maybe you're doing the group action roll, spending 3 hope, and both of you get to roll on that attack that becomes you as a missile or something like that. So there's that. But also to go back to like the that other conceit, if you have to go a far distance by yourself, you're making an agility check to see if you do it. Because agility is the movement stat in this. Finesse is more like the dexterity of old, and agility is really the new stat, and that is your movement. And And depending on the difficulty, which I will set based off of like, if it's just like flat land, the difficulty is probably going to be 10. But if it's rocky terrain, I might set it at 15 or 17, which will say if you get there or not, based off of you making to do that check and if you're agile, because agility is also really messed up by armor. If you have heavy armor, there's a lot of agility debuffs, which means you're less mobile. But because you're rolling those dice, you have the opportunity to roll with fear, which means I get to act and I get to move in the exact same way. So if you rolled poorly with fear as you are trying to reposition yourself much further away, you would still maybe get more than half the way there or something like that. We talk about where that actually is. There's a little bit more loosey-goosey with that. But then I would act immediately thereafter, and maybe I would be chasing that person down instead of just being locked to each other. So if in that moment of like, what's a attack of opportunity, very likely it becomes more of a chase scene where you move, you're trying to run away from the thing, you roll poorly, and then the character that you were running away from is going to reposition himself right after that person and try to attack them from a conceit of what I would see that being as part of the play. So that, but also things might be different. Maybe you're running away, but there's a lot more damage being dealt by the person that is next to him. Maybe that attack of opportunity is actually going to go next to the person that's been taunting him, so you can get away. There's a lot more freeform talking about the moment and how that goes. It's not just, you're moving away, I poke you with a stick. So there's a little bit more conversation in the combat. That I hopefully answers that one big question that we had when we were doing the combat. So there was a mistake that I made in that combat where I basically said, I don't know, let's just not move you. I believe it was to Ezzy. You definitely could have moved without any issue. I don't know if it was you, but that sort of thing, you can move. Assume you can actually move a relatively far amount without anything happening. But you're still probably going to be doing an attack after that, which might trigger my turn.
Gotcha.
So, with that said, I want you guys to start thinking about your ancestry and your community real quick. I have a cat that's yelling outside, and I'm still a dad, too. I need to make sure my kid doesn't wake up. So, start talking a little bit about what your ancestries might be. And I'll come back. I actually know it, everyone, I think. But go ahead and talk about ancestries, and we'll get to community.
Okay.
All right. This DM break brought to you by...
That's right.
Yeah. Squarespace. Thanks,
Yeah,
Squarespace.
We don't even have a website. What are you giving them something for?
Oh, sorry.
They get nothing.
Cricket Wireless.
Well,
Thanks, Cricket Wireless.
I hear that we have 2 dragon peoples in the party.
Yes.
Doom.
I also heard that.
Dracona.
Yep.
You don't have wings, though. You're basically lizard people.
Look, monkey bitch. Why you gotta be so mean?
You don't know that
At least I've got a
Whoa.
tail.
I don't have a tail.
We have a tail too. What are you talking
I don't
about?
have a tail.
Started to throw down.
So do lizards.
He's gonna start talking shit already. Episode 2. He's
We
already
descended into madness.
Oh my god.
By the time you were gone.
He can save us.
What the fuck just happened?
New guys
Only
picking
the
fights out of the yard. This isn't
Oh.
prison, man.
Yeah.
I love
Monkey
it.
Man is racist against dragon guys.
Yeah. Called us lizards.
Apparently, despite the fact that the basic facts that people know about Dacrona is they're wingless dragons, no one has ever referred to them as lizard people before.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was offending.
You can't use that word. Only we can use that
Only we
word.
can say that.
It's our word.
It's ours.
That's our word.
Jesus. Welcome to a stream full of white dudes talking about racial slurs.
The most diverse group we have here.
Fuck.
So, who's the turtle?
Yeah. That's closer to a lizard.
Moving on.
That'd be me. Yeah, so I picked the Galapa. And if y'all remember from last time, my character is like quite large, like head and shoulders above everybody else and quite broad, just massive. And I guess you would have noticed in our time together, he's very slow moving, obviously, very deliberate, doesn't really do a whole lot, just kind of hangs out, maybe reads the books off the bookcase. But in instances where like conflict happens, he's right there in the forefront, trying to hold things down or beat things down as the occasion arises.
Is there anything that he has specific about his look or anything like that?
Yeah, we would call it in real life terms a alligator snapping turtle type of look, with the shell being a bit more conical as opposed to smooth. And he has little, of course, little spikes coming off of his forelimbs and hind limbs. But one thing that's particularly noticeable about him is there are bits of metal that have been pressed onto where the bone would stick most prominently out of the skull and the neck, as well as on the forearms. And there's also metal implants along the shell that match the metal of the plate armor that he wears.
Sounds pretty scary.
You're right, Jeff. It's 3 lizard men and us, so we just got to deal with it, dude. We're outnumbered.
30 primates over here.
The warm and cold-blooded feud has started.
Yeah, already.
I make a mental note that he looks like he'd be really good to scamper up in combat, and I just hope he doesn't mind.
So
you look good to climb.
Technically, isn't a turtle more of an amphibian?
No, it's
actually it's a reptile.
It's a true reptile. Fair enough. I was going to say you're going to be the middle shell in this, but maybe not.
Yeah,
you're
a wet guy.
Yeah.
Nope.
So with that said, you have a recovered memory. That's your community that you grew up in. Feel free to share that recovered memory or tell me secretly. But at least, what is your community, just for the record?
And I'm going to start moving into the characterization a little bit. I grew up in the swamp. I was always bigger than everyone else, so I had to move carefully. But the last thing I remember was leaving my family with a coin purse and a heavy stick. And I recall fondly chasing the dragonflies in the swamp. So I'm going to choose the Wildborn community.
Okay.
So I'm a Wildborn Galapa. I am Ardax. That's Ardax, Ardax.
All right. Kyle.
Sir.
Give us a little bit more about your description.
Okay. Not gonna do a voice. Don't have the talent or the time. But I
would argue you have the talent. Come on.
It's not in here. He is a tall, broad-shouldered, red Dracona, but it's not the normal red Dracona. He's like deep red, like burgundy, like blood-colored. And do I have this like memory thing too of where I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to give any more about your appearance, your clothing, and anything like that.
Sure. His eyes are really, really bright orange, like they're almost on fire, like there's a fire inside, almost. And he's the color of blood. He's very tall. He's got 2 sets of very kind of pronounced dragon horns, kind of angled backwards. So his his earliest memory is being brought into let's see. Sorry. What did I select? Being brought into this kind of monastery, but it wasn't like a normal monastery of monks or whatever. It was uh, an order of kind of knights and Templars and stuff that worship battle and great feats of strength and heroism and proving yourself in combat. So I am an Orderborn Dracona named Azar the Blood Flame, and that is just because he looks like blood and he breathes fire. So pretty easy. I would say that
Love it.
he's the only Dracona of that order as well. So haven't
Okay.
decided what that's called yet, but
You might not
fish out of
remember.
water. Yep, exactly.
That's what's so great about what I think I built. Doesn't matter if you don't really remember. It's half remembered memories.
That's right.
We are making this up as we go. We don't need to have everything in front of us, guys.
No.
All right, Azar. Fantastic meeting you. Let's go ahead and keep moving. I'm just moving up my list in a backwards fashion. Jeff, you're next.
I don't remember anything. No, I'm just kidding. So, as obvious by just looking at me, I am of Simia ancestry, and my community was wild-born also. So I was raised by a clan deep within the forest, but I don't really remember where or the name or exactly why I left there. I just know that I had to leave. It wasn't my choice. It was just something that had to be done. And I'm kind of bummed out about it, even though I don't remember the specifics. And let's see.
Give us some more of a description about your simian looks.
Appearance. Let's see. So, any clothes I have and like my light leather armor and stuff is all kind of dark and inconspicuous shades of deep brown and black. And that's clearly because I like to disappear into the shadows, which a lot of times people wonder if I'm in the room or where I went, and then all of a sudden I'll emerge from a shadow somewhere, and it's a little bit unsettling until you get used to it. Pretty wiry and toned. Fur, mostly covered by armor, but the fur on my hands and around my face and things like that, kind of the color of ashes, dark burnt ashes with flecks of dark brown in there. Sort of matches my armor now, whether I chose the armor color scheme because it matched my fur or not, who knows. And let's see, attitude. The more you kind of spend time with me and stuff, my attitude seems to kind of be like that of a trickster. I'm quiet and often appear amused, and I'm frequently sarcastic. Or am I?
Amazing. And please introduce yourself.
So I introduced myself as Phineas, but at some point or another I did also explain that I'm not sure if that's actually my name or if it was just a name I liked the sound of.
Phineas.
All right. Nice to meet you, Phineas. All right, let's go ahead and keep going up. Ezzy, I have you next in anti-alphabetical order.
Sure. Human, obviously. Like tanned skin, regardless of how much you see me wash myself, if you ever do. I just look like I'm dirty, always. Yeah, tall, lanky, like 6'5", 6'6", but like ripped, you know. But still very, very thin. But it's all muscle underneath there. Wear clothes of like kind of patchwork, homemade camouflage looking. At least camouflage for where I think I'm from or where I came from. Let's see. Also, Wildborn, because why not just make us all Wildborns? Yeah, let's see. I go by the name of Whoopi.
Nice to meet you, Whoopi. What is your memory about your Wildborn home, or do you have one?
Uh, all that I can remember is family and tradition. And I don't really know what that means. I remember it being swamp. I feel like the swamp calls to me when we pass by it. Definitely, in our terms, very hillbilly, but like one with nature. So some very hippie vibes as well. That's just who I am. If I had a mom, that's how she raised me. But I don't know.
You may not even have a mom.
Yeah.
I don't have a mom.
I don't have one. All right. With all that said, let's get us to the top of the list. We have another Dracona in our group. Tell us more about what you look like, Brennan.
I I will start with my not my looks, but my ends. What's the background? Heritage.
Community?
Community. God, I'll get
Heritage
to-
is both of them together. Ancestry and
Oh.
community is your heritage.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. I'll get it one of these days. I'm going to start with
New
that.
system, who dis?
Wanderborn. I didn't choose Wildborn as popular against the grain.
From the outsider.
Yeah, shun the outsider.
What? Sorry, what?
Dragons are the most.
Wanderborn. Wander.
Okay.
So
Wander.
I was what I can remember from the days in flashes of memory before is traveling with a caravan. And I would sing songs and travel and be a bard, a troubadour, a minstrel, whatever you want to say. And that would be, we would go city to city. That was our life. At least I think that was it. I don't know. And the physical description of this Dracona, his name is Malachite. He has old wrinkled skin and scales with a deep shade of green. It looks black on most days, but in the sun you can see a tinge of deep green. Malachite's eyes glow like emerald gemstones. He is an very old Dracona. His graying hair is kept in rolled clumps of dreadlocks. It falls down to the back of his neck. He wears a minstrel's cloak, a fur-lined neck and hood, but the cloak is made up of many colored patches that form a very distinct dragon scale pattern. Around his neck, Malachite wears a silver chain necklace with a large rectangular cut gemstone set in a brass pendant. This was that symbol that we talked about earlier, set in that same pendant. That gemstone, excuse me. Across his chest is a series of overlapping leather strips that go up one side with straps and buckles securing it. The exposed side of his chest reveals a tattered cloak that once was finely cut coat, that once was finely cut and now shows the years of wear and tear. The black coat has puffy sleeves that are striped with burgundy and red down the arms. His forearms are covered with steel bracers and a shiny blue metallic color that has a elbow plate that's a little bit pale green. And a similar pair of metallic plates cover Malachite's knees. The pants he wears are a black and burgundy red. They are cut off just below the knee, and Malachite wears no shoes and no boots. He has scaly feet with bone-white claws and toes and fingers. They contrast his dark skin. He carries a wooden ukulele. Its deep black ebony wood color runs from head down through the neck and body. The only bit of color on the instrument are the brass frets and the tuners. What you don't see on Malachite are the many throwing knives and daggers hidden about his person. What appears to be missing are a tail and horns. Most Dracona have both. Malachite has neither. No scars, no nubs, just missing. He was born without them, and instead came into this world with a head full of hair in place of horns. That is what I look like.
Nice to meet
So
you.
Jeff, you were half right. At least I got a tail, motherfuckers.
At least I got a tail.
Everyone has something someone wants.
Yeah.
Team tail.
Right.
Team tail.
All right. So we have to go through Malachite, the Dracona Wanderborn, who is of bardic nature. We have Whoopi, the human wildborn of druidic nature. We have Phineas, the Simia wildborn of rogue nature. We have Azar of the Azar the Bloodflang, a Dracona orderborn of Seraph nature, and Ardax, the Galapa wildborn of Guardian nature. That is our party. That's who has been traveling together. Let's talk a little bit about experiences. Now, experiences are the things you're good at. To use your experiences, you have to spend hope. You can decide when to do it, but you get to decide what your experiences are. So, Farstrider, Cook, Fast Hands. Those are all great experiences. Jeff, what's one of your experiences?
So, funny you should mention. One of my experiences aligns pretty well with what you would consider fast hands or just being deft with things. And again, I don't remember a lot of specifics, but I know that when I had to leave my clan within the forest, I was alone, kind of lost in the world and living, I don't know, kind of as a street rat, one might say. And a lot of times I had to borrow things to survive, and I became quite good at it.
So what's your experience? What would you say the words are for that?
I think quick hands is reasonable.
Go ahead. Is that a +1 or a +2?
I think that one. I think that one's +1.
Okay. And what's your other one?
The other one I think I would call smooth talker. Going along with just sort of needing to survive in strange places where I had no friends, etc., I became pretty good at not lying per se, but telling people what they wanted to hear.
I'll throw it to someone else. Let's get 2 more experiences that this group is good at. Who wants to jump in?
I'll go. Since we're talking about fast hands, I also kind of chose a fast hands similar experience, but I'll explain how mine is unique compared to yours.
What? It doesn't need to be unique. What is the term? Let's just throw the term out because the term is what's important. And you guys decide to tell me, hey, can I use X for this?
Okay.
So let's just like make a descriptor. Give me the descriptor, and then let's start there.
Well, should it? What was Jeff's called?
Fast. His was fast hands. What do you want to call yours?
I did have it called fast hands, but
That's fine.
I can call
That's
it
fine.
something else.
You could do that.
No.
Or I'll call mine
did-
yoink.
No, I don't know what
Mine's yoink fingers, and yours can be fast hands.
yoink. Yeah, mine's called yoink.
Speedy digits.
No,
Yeah.
I guess let me explain mine, and we can decide. Help me
Quick
pick a
hands.
name. Yeah.
No, fast hands is great. You guys can both have fast hands.
Okay.
You both might have that. You are both dexterous folks. You talk about your hidden knives. You talk
Right.
about something. You're talking about fast fingering for like a loot. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I see you.
That's what I'm saying. It's fast hands and it's dexterous in the sense that Malachite can produce a dagger and
Yeah.
toss it really quick and
Sleight of hand?
almost invisibly. Yeah, very sleight of handish. Pull
Which
it
one is
out
this?
of
Is it your +1 or +2?
+1.
+1. What's your other one?
The other one I would call court minstrel. This is something that I have a flash memory of. It's a little different than my background. My background that I remember more recently is living in this caravan, but even before that, I'm a very old Dracona. I did get a flash of being a bard for a noble court. And I don't remember what court, I don't remember who was there, I don't remember anything about it other than I reached that status symbol of, we're going to say this world, the minstrel is like the highest tier of like becoming a superstar bard, and I've
Maybe
kind
it's
of
a
fallen
specific
since
domain.
then.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, I've fallen since then. I don't obviously live like that now. I'm not living high and mighty in the castle, so I'm stuck with you guys.
That all makes sense. Throw it to someone else.
Kyle, what do you got, man? Show me your experience.
Incredible strength. And obviously, I have a +2 here on my character
Okay.
sheet, but I have flashes of pulling not pulling bodies from wreckage, but moving the wreckage away from bodies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that also ties into my second one, which I have deemed war doctor, which is maintaining lives in the middle of
Triage medicine.
yeah,
That's right,
massive conflicts. Mhm.
Awesome.
All right, throw it to someone else.
Ezzy, what are you doing, dude?
I kind of described my two at the
Oh yeah,
in my
you already did that.
character, but no. I would say my first experience would be what we would know as a like a hillbilly. Like I take that as being like I can like MacGyver almost, like shit, I just need that and that and that, and I'll build you a bomb.
Yeah,
You
go
know.
ahead and throw MacGyver on there. That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's a
MacGyver
great
maybe
shorthand.
might be better. Yeah.
Yeah, which one, if that's really where you want to MacGyver artificer kind of thing.
That
Hillbilly
was kind
MacGyver.
of where.
Maybe with
yeah.
that. Hillbilly MacGyver.
Is that
No,
+2 or +1?
That's my +2. So I'm like good at just kind of improvising, I guess, or making the
Yeah.
best out of a worse situation. I don't know how
Making
how
do.
you want to define it. Yeah,
Making do is
And-
good too.
yeah. And then my second experience is just straight up hippie, like one with nature.
I like that phrase.
Yeah.
Straight.
So
All right. That leaves
Uh,
us to you, Trevor. Unless you have any more you want to say on that, sorry, Ezzy.
no, that's all I got.
Well, I spoke to these in my description as well. My +2, I'm calling it robust, in that he is Ardax is significantly larger than the normal Galapa, like Andre the Giant-ish in proportion to normal humans, type of thing. So he's very large. He's very thick boned. Not necessarily strength in the sense of Kyle's character of like lifting a lot of other things, but he could, get hit by a train and walk away from it type of thing. And then the other one is the metal that's been implanted in his bone bridges. I'm calling that battle forged.
Oh man, I was hoping you'd just say Iron Man.
I mean, that's all on point, but yeah, it's just all kind of like obviously the body mods are where it would be the least like harmful to overall, like doesn't really cause him any problems, but yeah, he's just got metal implanted into his skin.
Some more Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with all that said, I think you guys have given a little bit of your background questions too. There are 3 questions on your sheet that at the end of this, I'm going to make sure, please send me your character sheet as a link personally, so at least I can have access to it and look at it and mine it for ideas.
Sure.
But you don't need to send it to everyone else. You don't need to send it publicly. You can send it to me privately, all that sort of stuff. There are 3 questions that are asked of your character inside of that section as well. Is there anything specific that any of you want to bring up? Because these are like this is where I start going into like, is there stuff that's private to you, or is there stuff that you would have talked about in this space? Is Trevor, you last is first. Is there anything that you would have talked about in that space? You can talk about all 3 of them. You can talk about none of them.
Well, the background questions.
Yeah.
No, he would be very quiet, keep to himself, always polite, never like rude or shy, just doesn't have much to say. But there's like, he'll touch his face absently, and like knowing that there's something he's supposed to remember, but he can't remember. And it has to do with, the weapon that he holds, which is a crystalline warhammer on one end and a war pick on the other. And when he moves and swings it, it starts to glow from the inside. But yeah, he knows that that hammer and the metal in his body and on his shell there's something with that.
All right. Throw it to someone else. Oh, he went blood. Trevor, throw us to someone else.
Trevor, who do you want to go next?
Popcorn Ezzy.
What's the question?
So,
Background questions.
there are 3 background questions. You do not need to talk about them. You don't need to at all if you want to talk about them separately or not. Like, there are 3 things that they ask you as a druid
under the
that you may or may not be talking.
Is that
you don't have to. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. These are your opportunities for a few more recovered memories, or these could be things that have happened since you've woken up. I'm not, and the same goes for you, Trevor. Sorry, I didn't clarify that. These might be things that are important after the fact. You can answer these questions as if we woke up a couple years ago together.
I would say that I definitely come off as anxious indoors. I spend the majority of my time like out on the balcony,
or on the roof.
Yeah, or on the roof, like honestly. And I feel like there may or may not be times where me and Jeff are like crossing paths of like spending time.
Why do you have a thumbs down?
He did this, I think, accidentally with his hand and it like blooped in or something like that.
You had a thumbs down on your screen. It just popped up next to your window or your face.
That was awesome.
Nope.
My
This background
it did.
sucks. Yeah, you.
No, do
you
this.
have to
Do
watch
this.
the
Do
video.
this.
You have to watch the
this.
playback.
Do this.
I don't know.
I bet you.
Oh,
Yeah, I know what happened.
God damn it.
Very good. Oh shit! You broke
Nice.
Trevor.
You're on a phone. The phone zoom allows you to do stupid shit with your fingers and
I
stuff like
know.
that. It's
I just,
amazing.
yeah, it took me a second to get. Anyways, sorry guys.
I love
Or
that.
you're
And
welcome,
we're all
guys.
like this. Can we get this?
Yeah.
Why isn't this working?
Do you mean like
What was I talking-
good or
yeah,
bad
anyways.
interactions?
I'm yeah, very standoffish, but like I don't know. It seems like I feel out of place inside of a house.
And there was that time that monkey asshole called me a lizard.
That's right.
I'm not a lizard. I'm with you, monkey boy.
Oh yeah, we got tails. We're cooler than that.
No, you're the two.
Yeah, I still don't have a
Literally
tail.
every single one of us has a tail. That's the one common thing we
All
have.
right, so there was like a Venn
Mine's just
diagram of
inside.
tail versus lizard instead of this. That like everyone isn't one. I think like reptile. There's two tailed reptiles, but not one. There's hair, but not hair on every reptile. There's humans. Yeah, it's a stupid Venn diagram that I want to make now. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's vitally important.
Oh, okay, Jeff, that's on you. You make the party Venn diagram. I have too much planning to do now. You guys are giving me gold, and now I have to fucking write
it
while
looks
I'm
like
in planes.
the MacGuffin behind you, Deacon. That's what the Venn diagram is. It's just
Right, here it is.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Who knows?
All right, throw it to someone else.
Jeff, you go.
Well,
And you don't have to answer all of them. The things there could be answers after aphasia, whatever. That cat.
so, and I don't know if it's just rogue. I assume the background questions sort of vary, even though I perused the classes. I don't really remember, but one of the things that apparently rogues have in common is maybe we got caught doing something and we're exiled from our home community. And that does sort of ring true with me. I don't know all of the details, but, occasional flashes of familiarity or maybe half remembered dreams that I woke up with. I know from my previous life, the person I was most sad to say goodbye to, again, is somebody I don't hardly remember, but I know it was a girl because the name Elise keeps coming to me. And I know that somehow that was related to why I had to leave. There was just something going on, and I don't know, like I said, if it was some sort of forbidden love or what the deal was, but she was somehow central to why I had to leave the clan, and also the person that I was like heartbroken that I had to leave behind. And I don't know if anyone from my former life has ever been trying to find me or catch me, but I've always kind of lived life as though they might be. So I kind of keep to myself, lay low, hide more often than not. I'm not the sort to be just strutting down the street. So that's what I remember.
Okay, throw it to someone else.
Let's see, who did we not hear from? Did we get Brendan yet?
Not yet.
Nope, not me yet. I'll go. The questions that I have are what made you realize we were going to be such good friends?
Oh,
And-
so you're going to move on to there. We're past backgrounds. Ask someone else that. Yes, let's go there.
Oh, wait. Which one am I on? Background?
So the one right above that.
We've been discussing background, not
Oh,
connection.
Background.
God.
Yeah, we're not in connections yet, but
Well,
I'm
let me go
fine
back
moving
then.
on to that.
But whatever makes you
Is
No,
Is there
I don't
anything
want to
in
jump
that-
ahead.
No, we're fine. If there's anything that you want to talk about that you remember that you would have talked with everyone about, or
Yeah.
you can keep it private.
Who from your community taught you to have such confidence in yourself? The caravan leader. His name was Abel. I traveled with them recently, and that's what I remember. One person, if any, from my past life. This guy, Abel, was a father figure in my. Not a father figure. Let me take that back. Rewind. Retcon. He was someone who was a mentor to me. Okay, moving on. I got more questions. I got more answers.
Let's jump. We'll keep some of those private for now, just so we can keep moving forward. Please feel free to share them with other people later
10-4.
as we keep playing the game. I want to get into the connections, which is where this is going to really start singing. But with that said, Kyle, I do want to give you the opportunity to talk about anything from your background that you feel like you should.
Yeah, I haven't thought of it that far yet.
That's fine.
I would say, just in that, one of the questions I have is how did my appearance change after taking my oath? I started to get deeper and deeper redder, like more and more red. Like I was brighter, but the more fighting, more worshiping I did, the darker the skin became. Not sure why.
You don't need to.
No.
All right. With that said, Kyle, go ahead and go down to your connections. I want you to ask one of those questions to someone else.
Okay. Oh, these are mean.
Yeah.
These are really mean.
Let's make a party, boys.
Okay.
Okay, so that's not a question for me to answer. That's a.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing, Brendan, where I was like, oh, I got these nailed. And I was like, oh, they're not for me.
Welcome to why you. This is how you guys have been spending the past year.
Interesting. Brendan, one Dracona to another. Who have you told me is more important to save here than yourself?
Oh, shit.
More important to save than me. Well, I would say I'm a pretty selfish Dracona, and nobody is more important than me.
Yeah.
Wow.
The rest of us don't know this, though, right, Deets?
These can all be private conversations or as public as you want it.
Okay.
So,
Do you want me
and
to
then
go
the way that I
into-
was.
do you want me to roleplay this a little more, or no?
No, let's
don't
leave it at that.
Selfish.
You really made your choice.
I did. Yeah.
I think you're
love
good.
I
Yeah,
love
Okay.
it.
Let's see, bardic inspiration for me.
that's right.
Someone has to live to tell the tale. If there is no survivor, who will tell the ballad of our glorious deeds?
True.
All right. I mean, that's you. That's answer. That's connections. That's understanding stuff.
Yep.
Whether or not you believe that or not, or think that's cool or not thing is all up to you, Kyle. But now, Brennan, you ask one of your three connections to someone else.
All right. Well, I'll ask. I'm just gonna ask the group, and one of you. No, come
I will
on.
stop you. You have to be specific.
I want someone to chime in though, because I don't want to pick. I have to pick.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay, fine, fine.
I don't have fireworks, but I'd give it right now. Fireworks be later, Brennan.
Do it as do.
Damn it. I don't know how to make it fucking work.
Fuck. That's okay. All right. There. Ezzy, what do I do that annoys you?
God damn.
You ask him this. You ask him these questions specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop making me do thumbs up. That's what I think is so
Yeah.
dumb.
What do you do that annoys me?
Yeah.
The terrible constant flatulence.
Fuck. Yeah, I know. There's so many. Yeah, clogging the toilet.
Okay. All right. The privy has always been an issue.
I would say there's an air of arrogance that I don't particularly like.
What? Too arrogant. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Did you just say
this
what
is going off
to
of,
that after that?
No.
After you said nobody's more important than me?
Yeah. How dare you?
Okay, so when I played this for the first time a few weeks back, this is the moment I'm like, oh, okay, this is where the game is going to start singing. And I'm already, like, just after 2 questions as a GM for the first time getting here, I'm like,
write it down. Nice.
get the 24 logos going on, all these Steven Soderbergh things happening. Go ahead and ask a question.
God, I have 2 good ones. I'm gonna go to Kyle.
Trying to work, man. What's up?
What affectionate nickname have you given me?
Okay. Phineas is his name?
Yes, but what's the nickname?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter what his real name is.
Real name's Phineas.
My real name is Whoopi.
Oh, who's
Phineas
fuck is Phineas?
Why do I need
Phineas.
to give you a
Phineas is
nickname when
Jeff.
your name is a nickname?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I wrote it down wrong. I've got you in the wrong column.
Almost was on the YouTube wrong.
I think that Azar would call you Goldberg because of your golden skin.
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I was gonna thumbs up that, huh? Okay.
I just wanted to get that.
Dink and I know something you don't.
Cool.
I love it.
All right. With that said, Kyle, you get to throw it one more time to someone else.
Oh man.
You're getting out. You're getting out front. You're in a safer spot than everyone else. There's other people going.
No, that's true. Okay. Trevor,
Yes.
what promise did you make me agree to should you die on the battlefield?
Oh.
Mine are rough.
Yeah. That's
Don't
deep
make me
cut.
into soup.
What promise did I make you make if I die on the battlefield? That you'll use my you'll craft from my body like armor to keep people safe.
That's a good answer.
It is a real good answer.
I'm not using it anyway. All right. Okay. All right. Jeff, Phineas, what lie have you told me about yourself that I absolutely believe?
That's
These are fucking
great
great.
one.
So in conversation one day, Phineas convinced you that he is secretly of noble background and has been kind of in hiding because he just has no desire or patience for running his father's kingdom. My father's very elderly, and I just know that I will be stuck, being the king, and that's just not my jam. And we talked about that, and you had questions that I had answers for every time, and so you're just convinced that I am secretly a prince.
Love it.
Prince Phineas.
Super Prince. All right. All right. I'm still listening. BRB. What do you want, Cat? What are you doing?
Don't abuse your cat over the stream, please.
Jeff, you're up.
No one tell him his mic's on.
I love it.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Ezzy, what did I recently convince you to do that got us both in trouble?
Ooh. I feel like we both got into a food fight. And it wasn't like a normal food fight. It was me and you just ambushing the turtle people. Lizard people.
Turtle people.
Oh no.
War. Racist.
What do you mean, you people?
How dare you? No, I think you and I ganged up against the Dracona and the Turtle Man, and like it was mealtime, and we just like, no offense to your people, went ape shit.
And it's not our fault they can't take a joke.
We thought it was funny. Oh.
Nice.
I don't want to go to Trevor, but I'm going to wait. I'll go to you, Brandon.
Okay.
What animal do I tell you that you remind me of? That's so good.
What animal
Do I tell
do
you?
you think I remind you of? Golly. Can I think about that?
No.
No.
Shoot from the hip.
It's gonna be a noble, like, eagle. Like, I don't have wings, but an eagle.
They've literally called us lizards this entire game.
I know, but that would be way too obvious if it were, hey, you look like a lizard.
But that's
I don't know if you've met his character, but I don't think he's thinking that far.
I love this though. That I'm like, oh, man,
You look like an eagle. No, it's
Soaring
above. This is
like
fucking perfect.
It's no, it's
So,
like
sorry,
what
I'm
you
connecting this right
imagine
now.
me as. Go ahead.
No. Is it who's imagining who is the eagle?
Ezzy told me that he thinks I that I remind him
me of
the
an
idea
eagle.
of a majestic eagle.
Yeah.
Phineas is skeptical.
majestic eagle, even better.
Yeah, a majestic.
It teaches. It's very telling of Brendan's character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's silver tongue, and he's pulled the wool over the hillbilly's eyes.
Yes.
Oh, hey, no,
I feel like this is the hillbilly being like, oh man, you look just like an eagle.
Yeah.
I like to think of little baby Jesus as
With lots of wings going around to everyone else.
Yeah.
And Brendan being like, yes, you're right. I do look like an eagle.
It's the arrogance of Brendan's character plus his like, I don't so like his refusal to acknowledge how you actually are.
No,
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. You're up, man.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Kyle, since you're my fellow.
Guys.
This is gonna be a good answer. What made you realize we were going to be such good friends?
Okay.
This is so good.
I would say I'm still waiting.
Yeah, no.
It's because of how amazing and eagle-like you are.
That's right.
So noble.
No, I'm still waiting to be
talent.
convinced. How's that?
Okay. No. All right. The answer is no.
Ooh, that is a good response. Yeah.
Well, it's
Accurate.
it's not a no.
How about this
Waiting.
to clarify that I haven't killed you yet?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
You're not dead yet.
Besties.
Yeah. No, I like that.
That's the Yeah, that's yeah. I haven't killed you
We can
yet.
be friends. You're not dead
Yeah.
yet.
That's the like Joe Dirt, like hitchhiking won't kill you
Yeah.
sign for sure.
Yeah.
You're not dead, so
Yeah.
Do it.
all right. You're up, Kyle. You get your last one in.
Oh man, I do, huh? All right. Let's see here.
There are Trevor's the one who Trevor and Jeff both have the most unanswered after you.
That doesn't
Sure.
sound right.
Uh, I think this is good in the in character actually. Jeff, why do you ask me so many questions about my god?
Um, Now it may be that once upon a time I was a very pious monkey, but I have no recollection of that. So your devotion to religion is very curious to me, and so I'm trying to kind of understand why you seem to have such heartfelt beliefs that just don't personally make sense to me. So yeah, I ask a lot of questions, and I know it's annoying sometimes, but I can't help myself.
All good.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Hmm. Oh, weird. So I'm gonna ask Trevor. I want to say Ardax, or am I confusing people?
Oh, that's correct.
That's me. I wanted to.
Um, what are you desperately trying to teach me that you fear I'll never understand?
Patience.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Expected
Just
answer.
take a breath for once.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Take your time.
All right. Ooh, here's one. Hey, Kyle, how did I save your life the first time we met?
Hmm. Let's see. I guess the first time we met would have been on this
Mhm.
ship, theoretically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a recovered memory. It
Oh,
could be
I'm
something
into
before.
that. I'm into that. Oh, okay. I got one. Um, I was we were on two we were in a conflict on opposing sides. My armor has like, red crosses on it or whatever because I am like war doctor combat medic type stuff, and I was going through the wreckage of some explosive that went off and tried to operate on a body, but then there was a collapse, possibly because you walked in the door and you were very, very big. But you also cleaned up your mess, being the considerate turtle that you are, and pulled the wreckage off of me and saved me and the victim. Though we didn't exchange any words, I do remember very distinctly the uh, bone augmentations.
Mhm.
Specifically, it's not a very common thing to see on a turtle.
No.
Trevor, do you remember this?
Like when he talks about it and he starts talking about being a doctor, I do remember that. And remembering that is one of a handful of clear moments in a haze of just, blood and screaming, like a lot of quiet death afterwards as well. But there are those moments of kind of common existence that are they're really clear in that haze. Um,
So, Kyle, you have emptied your reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bix is going to ask a question.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh, uh, let me see here. We got this. We got this. Brennan,
Yep.
What mundane fear is Bix trying to help you overcome?
Horses. Riding horses.
Any horses, riding, seeing?
Yeah. I have legs. Why would I ride a horse?
All right, Bix is in the game now. Feel free to ask me stuff too. Brennan, you're up.
This one's a little bit intimate. Not really. The question, I don't know who I'm going to ask this, but I'll just throw it out the question and then I'll pick someone to ask.
Okay.
I'll give you a little second to think. Why do you grab my hand at night? It's a really strange question, and I don't even know if it applies to anybody here. So maybe
if you want to
one.
adjust it, why do you pat my back before battle?
How about
why
this?
do you seek comfort in me for this moment before something?
What do I say in my sleep at night? How about that?
That's great. That's a great. If we're not willing to be that intimate with the character that you've built, that's great. What
I don't know if he would.
What do you hear me? What do you hear me? Sleep. Say in my sleep. That's great.
Yeah, right. So who?
Oh,
that's
you're so great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Who are you gonna ask?
who am I going to ask? Who? I guess hasn't. Who needs to ask another question? I'll just
Ask away. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Trevor, you rose your hand. Damn it.
I have one more, but
Trevor, you can go for it.
yeah. Well, you sing this like horribly wrenching, like lay, like this song for something lost, and it like you're not even conscious, and it's not even full force, but it's so haunting and beautiful that it makes him weep. Every time he hears it.
So it's like a little song or something. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
It's like a
like a haunting
Haunting
sad song, like combination of romantic Western art music and blues.
like a love
Ardex, do you have a
song.
hard
Maybe-
time sleeping?
I mean maybe.
Okay.
Like he really sleeps best in his shell.
So you might just be closer to his room.
Mhm.
Or the acoustics in the shell just like make it sound beautiful. The rest of us you're just like screeching. But through the shell it sounds beautiful. Just all echoey and just like, tuned down an octave and it just sounds great.
It sounds auto-tuned.
Remix.
Yeah. Exactly.
Auto shelled.
Yeah.
Shell.
Robots in disguise.
All right.
Yeah, you're up, Trevor.
All right.
Ask anyone. Don't worry about who. I've got the fiat to help.
All right. Well, I want to ask. I want to ask Whoopi, what small gift did you give me that you notice I still carry?
You say hacky sack.
Ooh. Fuck, that's a good one. I'm just picturing a turtle trying to hacky sack. Fucking great. It's so good.
Yes. Gave me a hacky sack. I will take it.
Can I just go with that? It's a handmade, like I took time to make this hacky sack. I cut like a patch off of my pants to like form the material.
His record so far is 1.
Bup. Well,
I sit there and play. I sit there and play with you, but it's usually like wait for you to get that one, and then I keep going forever.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, I got to steal that answer. I'm going with that. I'm going
Yeah.
with the hacky sack. Fuck, it's too good.
Patience takes
Uh,
time. Your proficiency is tied to your hacky sacking.
One. Jeff, what did you confess to me that makes me leap out into danger for you every time? Yeah, pop
Is
quiz,
it
hot shot.
is it how terrified I am of danger?
Works for me.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, it's not as though Phineas is a coward or anything. It's just that he knows that he's best useful or dangerous or whatever reacting like from the shadows. So when danger appears, getting behind someone or disappearing is my natural reaction. And so I guess, being aware of that, you're kind of always like, all right, I'll charge in there because you clearly are not going to.
When danger appears, I need to hide to help the most.
Yeah, you prefer to hide and attack from the shadows. That makes sense.
Jeff, you have one last question, I believe.
All right. So, Bix, what have I discovered about your past that I hold secret from the others?
Ooh, yeah. Good one to hold on to.
Bix remembers recruiting you all to the bond.
Interesting.
That's his furthest back memory. He doesn't know what the bond is. He couldn't tell you anything more about it. With that note, when he notes that to you, he also clarifies that his name comes from an acronym that he also does not know, that he has felt in the workings of this space, which is BICS.
So what was it? BICS?
Yeah, that's his name, and that's an acronym that has been found.
He doesn't know. Okay.
And he doesn't also know what that acronym is, but name comes from an acronym found on the strata. All right, now for the fun part. Not that this hasn't all been fun.
Wait.
This has all been great.
Oh,
Finally,
Wow. Jeez.
orcs attack.
Rocks fall.
I'm not gonna. I have some ideas where we might start. I need to think about this for like truly what might happen next. But I do want you guys all to roll on a loot table. You guys have done some things, and I want to know where you got your thing. So, with that said, anyone, go ahead and roll 2d12 and tell me the result.
Are we doing with
Just 2d12. There's no fear or hope. This is just on the loot table.
9 and 8. 17.
17. You have something that you found out as the arcane prism. You can search this on your equipment, and you can add it.
Okay.
So, Kyle, you got the arcane prism. Let me go ahead and nope, I don't want to paste. Just a second. The arcane prism. Position this prism in any location of your choosing. Once activated, any allies that step within close distance of this prism get the +1 to the spellcast rolls. Once it's deactivated, you can reactivate again until your next long rest. Where did you get this?
Where did I get it?
I'll let you think about it. I'll let everyone roll first, and I'll go back through and let everyone answer where they got it.
Cool.
Someone else give me a roll.
12.
12? Who got 12? Jeff, you have an empty chest. The empty chest is a magical chest that will appear empty even if there are items kept within inside. The owner can use a specific word, phrase, or other trigger when opening the chest to reveal the items inside. And you can search these instead of the equipment when you hit manage equipment. Search them and just add them to your inventory. They are already within Demiplane. They're ready to go. So if you search them, you will be able to find them and add them without any issue and just have them in your hand.
Nice.
All right, someone else give me a number.
I'm doing it. Oh. It's going to be 11.
11. You got a glamour stone. Let me tell you what that does too.
That sounds like a Brendanite item.
Yeah. Yeah, I can memorize a look and then spend a hope to instantly recreate the look.
Oh.
I might trade you, friend.
I rolled a 6, Deacon.
Looks terrible on me.
16. You got a skeleton key.
A 6.
6. Manacles. A pair of locking cuffs with key.
Oh. Kinky.
Huh? Now, who do you hold the hand of at night?
Yeah.
All right. Ezzy, I think you're last.
It's the 2 7s or 7 and a 1? 7 and a 1. 8.
8. You got a woven net.
Yeah. The traps.
Yeah, woven net. A net that can be used to trap small creatures. To use it, make a finesse roll on creatures. To use it, the success of the difficulty to break free is a 16.
Could Brendan, do you want to trade? Could we trade?
Actually, if you want to, we can. I could use the manacles because I could, like, sleight of hand cuff somebody with, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, my other thought too is like manacle someone and drag them.
Okay.
Like hold them around.
Let's swap.
Yeah, swappity swap.
Swap.
I just don't see Ardax like needing. He'd like look at it and be like,
"No,
don't need that."
I would love what you have. That glamour. What was it called? A glamour.
Glamour stone. Yeah.
Okay. I'll add that.
So, with that said, does anyone want to give me a reason why you have those things? Where you found it, if at all?
I woke up with mine. They were part of my kit.
All right.
The manacles.
Yeah. I'm going the same route. It's just something from before I can remember.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We don't have to have it.
I also found mine in the bottom of my pack, and I thought it was just an empty chest until one day I accidentally discovered the activation phrase and found out that there was actually a small locket inside, and that I remember belonging to Elise. And then I closed it and opened it up again, and it looked empty, and I thought that was pretty cool.
All right. Kyle, do you know why you got your arcane prison?
I probably looted it from some other monastery of a warring faction. Never understood what it is, but the colors called to me. So.
Great. Thunk whir. The strider continues as always, down the road, until it can't. A massive crystalline tree blocks the path. And that's what we're on tonight.
Crystal tree.
All right.
That tree.
I throw a woven net over it.
Nice.
Quick manacle it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Manacle it.
Get the handcuffs on it. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're ready to actually play the game now.
Wow.
Is that the name of the session?
What game? I thought we were just hanging out.
What? We're just shooting
We're ready to
ideas
play
at
the
each other?
game now.
There's a game?
What?
It's Dagger.
Dagger heart time.
So I do have a technical question, and I kind of want.
Yeah, sure.
I want to keep this in the recording before we end, and that is that. Let me pull up my PDF of the Rogue real quick.
He's calling you out, Jeff.
Not the Rogue. I'm sorry, the Troubadour. No. I don't know why I keep saying
what am I?
Rogue.
Where am I?
I'm the Troubadour, the Bard.
Bardador.
Yeah, the Bardador.
Bardador.
I get to spend, or I get to collect this resource throughout the game, and it's my rally dice,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm. What does it actually say? Just say it out loud because it's fine to keep it in the recording that way.
Yeah.
They're with the group.
Rally. At the beginning of a session, place a d6 on the spot to the right with the lowest values. It doesn't matter if that's to the right. Place a d6 on the table with the lowest value, number 1, facing up. When anyone within your party rolls with fear, increase the rally die's value by 1. When you would increase this value above 6, remove the die. Describe how you rally the party and give each character who listens a 1d6 rally die. They can then spend this die roll. They can spend this die to roll it and add the result to any action roll, reaction roll, or damage roll. Mm-hmm. Okay. If your rally die hasn't finished this countdown by the end of a session, distribute the current value shown on the die as hope amongst your party, splitting it any way you choose, and remove the die. The rally die you distribute increases to 1d8 at level 5. And my question is, can I reset that more than once per session?
No.
Okay.
As of right now, no. But also at the same point, I don't think that's going to matter.
Okay.
That's your big ultimate kind of thing for this sort of game, and it's actually pretty powerful with how the math works out. Something that I've really realized is if you roll 2d12 with how the difficulty works on the adversaries, they're like the one you fought before was a difficulty of 15, which is about you'll hit 50% of the time. If you're actually helping each other, which you can do too by just spending hope and helping other people, 2d12 plus 6 is a much more likely to hit number. So this, even with that where it is, giving it as hope is still giving out that many d6s to other people technically, and that sort of stuff. It is, and at the same point, I can see us hitting that 6 frequently.
Okay.
In a session.
Can I distribute what I had from last time then?
Yes.
Okay. I had 3. Mm-hmm. I will 3.
And also, on that note, this is still a beta test. If you never get to that, Brennan, and it feels very, bad, note to them that we do 2-hour sessions. I think they're planning on, most sessions being 4 hours.
Yeah.
And just make this is a feel-bad thing. I feel like I don't ever get to use this.
Right. And that, we'll cross that bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
We may roll a lot more than we think, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So I'm going to distribute 3. I'm going to give... Who doesn't have hope on their sheet right now? Does everybody have at least 1?
I assume everyone has at least 1 right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I got 3.
How many do I have?
Rolling.
Loading.
We can offline this too. We don't have to.
Just
you wanted to record this. I have 4.
No, okay. If you have 4, that's great. No, I don't. You don't need more than.
Good for you.
That's
I didn't use any of it. That's the thing.
But it is actually worth noting that there's a lot of session abilities that when we start up, go ahead and reset those things.
Yeah.
It's worth noting which items on your sheet are session abilities that you might want to uncheck that box when you start doing. There's no like auto clear on those sort of things.
So, two things with that.
Mhm.
So, is hope a long or short rest reset, or it's not a session reset, right? But now, granted, it's been ages.
It's persistent. There doesn't. The only reason you get hope is because you roll with hope. The only reason you spend hope is when you spend it.
Oh,
My
okay.
fear is
So you get
persistent,
2 on
too.
character creation, and then it just goes up or down from there. Okay.
Yeah, and I get 2. I got 2 fear at the beginning of the game, and my fear. I can if anyone's on Roll20, I have a fear tracking link, and I think I don't have any right now. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's completely persistent, both for my fear and your hope.
The first 3 people to say, I want a hope, get it.
I want to hope.
You can't.
I got a fear now. I took it. I took it.
Oh,
Trevor?
yeah.
Ezzy? Who said it? I didn't hear who said it.
There's Trevor and Ezzy.
Trevor and Jeff.
Well, I have 3.
Cool.
So, Ezzy, Trevor, and Jeff.
There you go.
Great. Done.
Sure. I'll take a hope.
Can I give that to myself?
I
Is that a
suddenly feel
possibility?
No.
Just a gift.
Give it away.
That's got to be really tough for you.
That is.
Explain how hard that is for you.
Fuck.
Why do I have to? You did a great job today, and I will tell your stories after you die.
Yeah,
We will be soon.
Remember this and keep me alive to tell the tale.
Yes.
Exactly. It's very contractual.
I'm not as
I inspired you, and you, and you.
yeah.
Don't you feel good about yourself?
Aren't I great?
I'm going to be the character everybody loves to hate.
Good.
Try to.
That's a bard.
I wish someone would inspire me.
I sure wish someone would inspire me.
Can someone help me a little bit? Just a little bit?
Okay, that's all
guys,
I got.
I am so excited.
Musician's going to be great.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to actually play a couple songs. So yeah, no, when we get there, not tonight.
Play Freebird.
Freyber. That's
All
what
right,
I
guys.
haven't learned.
Some of you guys
That's why
are
you
much
remind me of
further.
an eagle.
Perfect.
There's your title. Remind me of an eagle.
All the titles revolve around what happens
You
to my
remind
character.
me of an eagle.
Night, all guys.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Take it.
Thanks, Deeks.